ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am the greatest. The greatest that has been anointed the greatest because he called himself the greatest. And the greatest is Josh Samuel. And on the line with me, ladies and gentlemen, is another great, and his name is Fran. Fran, how have you been, brother? It's been a long time, man.
I've been doing great. I've been really excited about all these releases with Shazam and Endgame now. So I've been doing really great.
Good. Good. It's funny you mentioned Shazam, Fran, because that's part of what we're gonna discuss today. We're gonna have kind of a battle, if you will, a versus type of video. And starting out, Fred, I want to ask you this: is Aquaman's biggest strength is visuals or the story?
I think that is obviously the visuals. Like the story is, like it's not groundbreaking. You know, it's the typical story of the hero becoming this like stronger guy and claiming the throne. Like it isn't really groundbreaking. So I think that the visuals are fucking amazing. That's what I mean. That and the epicness of some of the scenes and some of the performances from Jason Momoa, for example. That's what gives it the edge of that's a pretty solid superhero movie. But the story is like pretty normal. Like you're like, I mean, I am invested in the characters and everything, but overall, it's not like this is not Inception, you know.
Right.
And it doesn't need to. It doesn't need to be one. Like that's not what the film is aiming for. But I think that the visuals are what gives the movie that kind of a spectacle.
Okay. Now, with Shazam, do you feel it succeeds on every level, or could it have done more?
I think that sometimes the cinematography is like really bland. Like when Billy saves the bus from the bridge when it's falling and he saves it. Like I felt like I was watching the airport scene from Civil War. Like every color was like so black and white. Like there was no contrast. There was no color. Like I don't know. I felt like some parts of the film were like they didn't have really good cinematography, and the deadly scenes I couldn't like figure out which of them was who. Like every single one looked the same, so I was like, I don't know which one is what. So, and I mean, it's a fun movie. It's a movie that is aimed for kids, you know, and it's fun and whatever. But everyone was putting it like, oh yeah, it's really good, and in Rotten Tomatoes it had like a really high score.
Right.
And the audience reactions was like pretty good, and I saw it and I was like, I don't know, like that's
it's
maybe
simple.
a 6 out of 10 or something like that. Yeah, it's simple. Like I wasn't bored in the cinema, but that's the kind of movie that you see one time and you're like, okay, that's it. You know?
Yeah.
What was your reaction when you saw it?
I really enjoyed it. You know, it definitely, due to some personal things I've experienced in my life with my mother and other things as well, it definitely hit an emotional chord for me. I really enjoyed it and everything. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Now, like I said in a past video, BVS and Man of Steel, they are and still just are always gonna be on a league of their own. So I don't know exactly where I'd rank Shazam as of right now, because I've only seen it once. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Let me ask you this, Fran: Aquaman's arm or Shazam's Savannah?
I think that by a far stretch, Key Norm. Like the overall like aesthetic of like the costume, the lines of dialogue that he has, like when Patrick Wilson uses his theater voice, like where he says like "Rise Atlantis" and everything like that. and I think like a really complex character, you know. But I think that over Sivana, he's like a better constructed, like more of a threat to the hero. Like when you see them fighting, it's like he could like rip his ass off, like if he wanted to. But I don't know, like Dr. Sivana is like, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed him and I liked the performance, but it was like, it was with the tone of the film, you know, everything was pretty bland. Like, it didn't really connect with me. So, overall, the whole Shazam movie is like so bland that Sivana is bland too, you know, and in the other side, you have Orm with some a score that is like really good, and the costume design is really good, and the fight scenes that he has are really good. So that's why I pick him, because that's what happens to me with Shazam, that overall is pretty normal. So there's nothing like really good about it.
I got you.
Who do you choose?
I'm gonna go with you. I gotta go with Orm, bro. Now the fanboys, calm down. I'm a big fan of Mark Strong, man. He's a slept on actor in my opinion, and don't get me wrong, I enjoyed his performance, but I don't know, man. I really enjoyed Patrick Wilson as Orm, and if not for Zod and Lex Luthor existing in the DCEU, I'm pretty sure Orm would be my top villain as of right now, because we had Enchantress, aka You Don't Have the Balls, from Suicide Squad, the WB cut. Then we had Ares and Wonder Woman, and I mean, some of the lines were decent, but the delivery was kind of just, I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, I gotta go with Orm as well, man. Now this question, Fran, I definitely want to get your viewpoint on it. What is your response to an individual who says Aquaman is too much like Thor?
In which way?
Basically, like the movies are very similar. Like the first Thor and Aquaman are similar.
Yeah, that's like when people say that the first Avenger is like Wonder Woman is like the first Avenger. And I'm like, yeah, you know that the first Avenger didn't create or invent like the structure of MCU shields. Yeah, because Wonder Woman is copying Captain America, and you're like, listen, Captain America didn't create this kind of structure in a movie.
Right.
The same as Thor didn't create that kind of structure in a movie. Just because the guy at the beginning loses and then he comes back stronger and defeats the enemy, that's like 99% of superhero movies do that. So I don't know where people see the similarities. Like maybe because Jason Momoa and Chris Hemsworth look a little bit alike because they are fucking ripped, but like nothing really else. I don't know why people say like pure, or pure envy. Like, you know, Aquaman is doing great and we have to tear it down because I don't want to see DC succeed. I don't want to see Marvel succeed. And it's like, there's a really good sentence that Chris Hemsworth said the other day in the Avengers press tour, that he said that in the end, both DC and Marvel is about both of them succeeding, not about tearing each other down.
Exactly.
So mad respect for him for saying that publicly.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone should really think, that this is movies, and the better that Marvel and DC makes movies, the more fun that we are gonna have. So sure. I don't see the point of trying to put two films against each other.
Sure. I completely agree. Now, you pretty much have given your thought on Shazam, brother, but I just want to clarify with this next question. Does Shazam to you have more rewatchability than Aquaman, or vice versa? Or vice versa?
I think that my answer is pretty clear, but I mean, if you are in a hurry, Shazam because it's shorter, but for everything else, I will prefer Aquaman.
Okay.
Aquaman at least. I mean that movie at least cinema. When I was seeing it, I was like, this isn't some BBS or Man of Steel because I didn't expect it to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I was enjoying the movie, like with the themes, the Black Manta's theme, the Orm theme,
Mm-hmm.
and the action sequence and the visual effects and everything. I was having a fun time in the cinemas. But with Shazam, I was like, I saw it and I got out of the cinema and I didn't remember half of what I had just watched. Like I went home and I was like, okay, let's move on with my life. And not with Aquaman, like with Aquaman, it stuck to me more than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So I will vastly prefer Aquaman over Shazam.
Yeah, Aquaman has some really badass characters, all the way from the man himself all the way down to Volko, Black Manta, as you mentioned. I really enjoyed Nicole Kidman's performance as Atlanta as well. Moving on, Fran, let me ask you this: what what to you ultimately, which you pretty much covered it, but again I want you to clarify, what to you ultimately makes Aquaman better overall than Shazam?
I think like holy shit, like and now DC stands are gonna come for me. Fuck.
Go ahead, brother.
Anywhere.
Go ahead, brother.
I mean, I don't know, like, it's what I said, like, Aquaman isn't like this groundbreaking superhero film or anything, but when I see it, I don't know, like, I'm having a fun time. Like, when I saw Shazam, I was having a fun time too. But with Aquaman, it was like, I'm having a fun time, I'm really enjoying the score, and I'm enjoying the fucking epic moments that it has. Like, Shazam doesn't really have any epic moments, like, nowhere in the film, in my opinion, alright? Maybe some people were like, oh, the Shazam family, and they were like cheering and everything, but not my case.
Right.
But with, like, when Aquaman, Jason Momoa comes out of that, how do you say, waterfall.
That was epic.
With the trident and the score and the suit, I almost like stand up and start clapping. I mean, I didn't do it because I was almost alone in the theater, and people will think that I'm crazy or something. But that moved me, When I see movies, I want them to move me in a bad or in a good way. Like not bad in the sense of this movie is shit, but maybe making me sad or making me happy. I want them to move me. But when I saw Shazam, it was like, all right, like that was a movie. That's it.
I got.
So I prefer 100 times Aquaman.
I got you.
Shazam.
I got you.
What do you prefer, Aquaman or Shazam?
Ah, man. It's always
Join the cult.
Yeah. As of right now, it's tough because I really don't even know where I rank Shazam as of right now, because I feel like I need to see it again. As of right now, I give a slight edge to Shazam. However, I really love. Stop calling me. I really love Aquaman, and this is not a knock to Aquaman at any rate. As a matter of fact, I think Aquaman is definitely still top 4, and Shazam is top 5. Now, what order? Obviously, like I said, BVS, Man of Steel, and Wonder Woman to a degree, they're all in a league on their own. That's just how it is. That's just how it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would give a slight edge due to the fact of how deep it resonated with me to Shazam. I mean, Shazam's more of a family drama, and not to say that Aquaman isn't, because it kind of is, but Aquaman also has a lot of action and everything else, and it has just as much rewatchability, if not more. And Shazam is something we can watch with the whole family, whoop-de-woo. But moving on, let me ask you this, and this is an obvious question as well. Do you think Do you think Shazam would have benefited from a different release date?
I mean, obviously, I don't know who the fuck in Warner Brothers thought that it was a good idea. But it's just like 3 weeks before fucking Endgame. Like, I've been seeing reports and the day isn't even over. Like, I mean, we still have a lot of time this Sunday. But for now, Endgame has grossed like $1.2 billion
Damn.
in its first opening weekend. So I don't know who the hell from Warner Brothers thinks that it's a good.
Shit.
And that's what I mean. Like, you see it coming because Endgame. Like, everyone was talking about Endgame. Endgame was selling like a ton of tickets, and you decide to put Shazam, a small budget movie that is supposed to gross more. I mean, it isn't supposed to gross a lot, but if it were alone, it would have grossed much more. And right now, I've seen reports of Shazam just going like downhill in ticket sales this weekend.
Damn.
Like downhill, like it got destroyed by Endgame because like if you were to choose between seeing Endgame and seeing Shazam, it's obvious what you're going to see.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, maybe it's already made its money. Like it made like 340 million, like 340 million or something like that, which is like okay because it only costed like 90 million. But if they released it in June or July, I think that they would have got like more because that's like a family movie, you know. It's supposed to be released in summer when parents go to the cinemas with their kids, not 3 weeks before the greatest or the biggest achievement in cinema in 20 years. I mean, I don't know. It's Warner Brothers, you know. It's better not to like even think about how they will do those things because it's Warner Brothers. So it's better not to look for logic in that studio.
Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. Now, Fran, let me ask you this, and I think after this we're done talking about Shazam, so you don't cuss me out. Which character in Shazam did you like the most?
I don't know. I think that probably Billy. Like he's Shazam and everything. No, I mean, I think that the overall arc that he had, like, you know, searching for his mom, and then his mom doesn't want to do anything with him and everything. I think that makes him like an interesting character. Like he knows how to deal with loss and knows how to move on and everything. So that combined with the funny, like there were some very good scenes, like funny scenes like there when him and his friend want to get out of the school and the janitor is like, hey, no, you need like a parent to pick you up and everything. And Zachary Levi comes in with the like this coat over the costume, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm totally picking you up and everything." I think that was like really really good. So I think that he's the most interesting character because not only the arc, like he was very funny. He was the one that gave the movie like joy, you know, because of how well delivered the lines were and how funny they were. I think that he was the one that mostly carried the movie.
Gotcha. Now let me ask you this, Fran, because I've been seeing this tossed around quite a bit. And aside from the visual effect, we do have to give credit where credit is due. But is Aquaman's third act the best part of the film?
Is Aquaman?
Yeah.
Yeah, like obviously, like the first two parts of the film is like an adventure kind of film. It doesn't really have that much of great moments. Like maybe when the wave hits like Aquaman's that track. Like that scene is pretty amazing and everything. But the third act is like nuts.
Yeah.
Like, there's this guy with a trident riding a fucking kraken or whatever, and fighting an army of guys mounting sharks and fighting another guy with tridents and everything. I think that's like what gives movie an edge. Like that's what the part of the movie that makes it different from most comic book movies. Like the overall visual effects, the score is like pretty meh, but it's like great. But like the whole fight and the slow motion and the capes and the visuals and the cinematography and everything, I think that's what kind in a way saves the film. Like the first two parts aren't really that bad, but the third act is what elevates the movie to a new level.
I got you.
Like it's kind of what happens with Endgame, you know. Like the first two parts are like, you know, and the third act is like fucking nuts.
Right.
You're like clapping in the seat, like, yeah, I don't care about anything. I just like to see these people fight each other.
Exactly.
But that's like kind of what Aquaman did, which is great. I'm not complaining.
Got you. Now, Fran, I have two more parts I want to talk to you about, and then we'll close. Now, despite my enjoyment, high enjoyment of Shazam, I did take offense to the scene towards the end, and you know what scene I'm talking about. We'll just call it Faceless Superman. Now, reports are, you know, always come out, and we don't obviously know fact from fiction. There were reports that Henry did shoot a cameo, and it was scrapped or something like that. But obviously we don't know because none of us were on the set. But I just find it really disrespectful to us, not only Henry Cavill, but us, the fans of, you know, his portrayal of Superman. And the fact that they just allowed that to continue in the movie kind of just really stings and hurts. And, you know, again, it's really just I really took offense to it. I really enjoyed the movie, but I really was offended by that. What was your thought on Faceless Superman?
I think that it had like a very, very, very simple solution. If you can have Henry Cavill, don't fucking make the cameo. Like, everyone was laughing about it. Like, oh yeah, because Faceless Superman, haha, this is dance, haha, Warner Brothers or whatever. And I was like, if he isn't willing to do it, or maybe you, the studio, don't want to pay him what he deserves, don't put it in the movie. Like,
exactly.
Even the suit is cheap. If you look at it, it's not even the suit from the movies. Like, it had like a lot of yellow in the S, much more than in the last ones. So I was like, whose cosplayer is this? Like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, it was so simple. Like, yeah, and people who worked on the film were like, yeah, because, you know, there was production difficulties because he couldn't shoot the cameo and everything. Hey, listen, you could shoot that cameo 2 weeks before the movie comes out. Like, don't fuck with me. Like, tell me the truth. Henry Cavill and Warner Brothers are kind of negotiating maybe if he's going to be like Superman in more movies or not. But don't fuck with us. Like,
exactly.
Don't lie to us. Like, and some people, there were some reports that what you said, that he shot a cameo and they didn't use it. So if that's true, and this other guy is telling you that they didn't shoot it, and the studio isn't saying anything, and Henry Cavill isn't saying anything, it's like, I don't know, it's so simple. If you don't have the actor, don't make the cameo.
Exactly.
Because it's done in such a poor way that the movie is better off without it. Like, plain and simple.
Yeah. And finally, Fran, you know I have to end it on a high note or a cliffhanger. Now, the Snyder Cut. Now, again, it's seemingly that the Snyder Cut has picked up even more steam in these past couple of weeks. So many worldwide have come forward and made posts, videos, etc., and it's just it honestly overwhelmed me a few days back just to see so many different people of different backgrounds, different countries, different states, etc., express their desire and support for it. And it's not at this rate. It's only on WB to release it, and that's all it is. And I think the thing for me is something that WB doesn't either. They either have to know or they don't necessarily realize is they only have more to gain when they release it. You know what I'm saying? They only have more to gain, and there's no harm in the other movie on the other films coming out or being produced when they released it. It's the Snyder Cut is the Snyder Cut. With that all being said, out of order and everything, Fran, what's your take on all this?
I think it's great because it's becoming like a mainstream thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not everyone is talking about it every day, but Kevin Smith is like a huge supporter. Every time he has the opportunity, he's like, yo, let us know and everything. And Tyron Magnus is also a huge fan.
Shout out to him.
All these, and all these like comic book movie sites are like all the time reporting news like, oh yeah, because these fans are video bombing Warner Brothers to release the Snyder Cut and everything. And people are like, oh, they are mocking us. And I think that some people are so innocent that they don't remember or think a great phrase that is said in the Wolf of Wall Street, that is, every publicity is good publicity. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, even if like the New York Times writes like, oh, look at these losers asking for something that it doesn't exist, that's giving you like exposure.
Yeah.
That's what we want. We want like this guy from HBO said like release the Snyder Cut in Valerian.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. Like, we are making it mainstream, and that's what we need, because the more people know about it, the more people talk about it, the more market Warner Brothers sees, and the more they are willing to spend money on releasing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's plain and simple. Warner Brothers doesn't care if you want to honor Snyder, or because what happened to Snyder's daughter, or because they fucked Snyder's vision. They don't care about that. They only care about the greens.
Yeah.
They are a company.
Yeah.
They don't care about feelings or anything. They care about the money. And see that about it in a good or in a bad way. And I'm telling you, the things are turning in a right way, like in a good way for us.
Mm-hmm.
Because when like when more time passes, more people are like, release it, let us see, maybe they are not like full-on supporters, but they are like, now I'm curious, I would like to see the differences. Like, even Collider, like I didn't even believe it when I saw Collider saying that they would like to see Snyder's Justice League like in a 2-part DVD with a theatrical cut or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, see, like, even people that are fucking stupid, and it's fucking great. I think that, there's a lot of people saying, my source is telling me San Diego Comic Con 2019 and everything. Sorry. And everything. I'm like, I don't, like, at 99% it's not coming out at San Diego Comic Con. But I don't know, like, I'm optimistic about it. You know? Like, after last Comic Con, I was like, it's never gonna be released. Like, I was pretty down. But right now, I'm like, stay low and build. Like, I don't know if you know who the Nice Cast is, but he has that phrase he says all the time, that like, stay low and build. Like, stay low, do campaigns, talk about it, make it go mainstream, have patience, and we're gonna have it rather sooner than later. But it's all about staying, like, in a respectful way, of course. Like, I've seen and I see a lot of people on Twitter that is like, yo, to have like zero education. So grow up a little bit, you know. You can ask for something, but you can do it in a polite way. You don't have to be dicks about it, you know. Because someone says, "Oh, it doesn't exist, fucking idiots," and instead of going to him and saying, "You know, maybe I think that you are wrong because I have these facts, and I think that you are wrong," people are like, "Oh, fuck you," and it's like, you're not gaining everything. You are not going to get more people to join our movement if you keep insulting everyone that tries to have a different opinion from yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like stay low and build. Like, keep doing campaigns, keep talking about it, and in the end we will have it. But you can't be so impatient that it's like, oh, if it's not this day, then it's never going to be released. Have patience. It's gonna come.
It's got to. They at this rate, Fran, and I've come to the realization a few weeks ago. Shout out to a few weeks ago, and again, shout out to Tyrone Magnus. They don't really have a choice but to release it at this point. They just don't have a choice. They have to release it, and I think it's all a matter of when will they release it. You know, Comic-Con. I don't know, man. I think there's a possibility of an announcement. I'm not, I don't know. Obviously, I think there's a possibility. We'll see, because they have so many other things to promote, such as Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 84, and we'll probably hear more about Batman and that other movie directed by James Gunn, and we'll probably hear a few other things as well. But I still think there's a possibility that we'll hear something about it, due to these continuous pushes and posts and videos and everything. And regardless of what does and doesn't happen, you keep pushing for it. And even when they say, okay, yeah, here, we're gonna release it this day, I say we keep on fighting for things like the Snyder Cut. Hashtag get Henry Cavill back for Man of Steel 2. Or the new Man of Steel movie, so stuff like that. Because there's interest in the original cut of Suicide Squad. What's your thought? And then we'll definitely close for real. What's your thought on the Snyder Cut of Suicide Squad, Fran? The original cut.
I think that if it had like the same amount of repercussion and support that the Snyder Cut movement has, it would have been released already. Like, even Ayers himself said it, like, the movie is done. Like, it's not like with the Snyder Cut that there are some visual effects left and everything that they will need to invest money. Like, that movie is done. Like, they will only need to pay for release, like Blu-ray discs and everything. But he said that will be a lot of money, and he doesn't think the studio will do it. But that movie has much more light of the day than the Snyder Cut, because that movie is done, like 100% done. Like, there's people like, I don't really like him, but Daniel RPK, he said that he saw that cut and it was completely done, like all visual effects, score and everything. So I will, of course, like to see that movie. Like, I think that Warner Brothers isn't going to release it anytime soon because not many people are asking for it. But I would love to see. I mean, I will pay $20 to see like 1 hour more of Jared Leto's Joker. Like, straight up. I'm not even ashamed to say, like, I wanted to love that Joker, and when he said that there was like half of footage cut, I was like, man, I want to see that. And I don't care about paying a little bit more to see that.
I just really want those 214 minutes, bro. I need it. It's like vitamins, bro. I need those vitamins. I need those Justice League, the real Justice League vitamins, cause that Justice League stuff, man, it felt like some fucking old rehashed and recycled McDonald's, man. Like, I need my vitamins, man. I need that Junkie XL score, man. I need it in my life. You know what I'm saying? We need it. The world needs it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be the end of this video. You guys go subscribe to Fran's channel, as I will leave a link in the description. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. As always, I am the greatest of the greatest, and my name is Josh Samuel. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. And subscribe, like, and comment. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. And we'll see you all next time. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Don't get triggered.